Welcome students. Food is an important part in the human life. We all know that without food, the existence of the human life is not possible. Whenever the bacteria grows on the food, we look upon it as a contamination. But it is not always so. There are many bacteria which are our friends. Because of the presence of these bacteria only, we have production of different food items. And therefore, these food industry that are flourishing is only because of the presence of the bacteria. The food industry takes into account the different groups of food products. Now, these food products can be classified as follows. We have a category which is called the dairy product, which takes into account the cheese, yogurt, buttermilk, sour cream, etc. Then we have another group of food industry which produces the fruit juices. The various types of enzymes are being included in this category. The second category of the food industry is the cereal product, where a very common food item, bread, is being produced. And then we have the brewing industry, where we have the fermented products like beer, wine, whiskey, tequila, etc. Then we have a category of food which is called the food additives, where the microorganisms are used for the flavoring, or they are being used as an additional value. Because they put an additional value to the food item, they are known as the food additives. And the last category is the protein products, for example the soya sauce or other proteins which are being derived from the bacterial cells. So these are the different categories of the food item upon which the food industry is thriving and upon which they have to thrive upon the bacterial cells. Now, whenever we add a bacteria to a food, it produces a desirable product, and this food is now called a microbial origin food or a fermented food. Now, this fermented food, when supplemented in the diet, has got following advantages. Number one, the fermented food or the drinks that we usually consume, they bring the beneficial bacteria into our gastrointestinal tract or digestive tract. Now, digestive tract has got presence of many bacteria, and these bacteria not only help in the digestion, but they also produce many vitamins which are essential for the physiological growth of the human being. And therefore, these bacteria are being added up in the GI tract because of the fermented food. The second advantage is this fermented food help us to digest better, absorb better, and utilize the nutrients that are present in the food. The third important advantage is they have got a high amount of vitamins, amino acids, and other nutrients which is not normally found in the non-fermented product, and therefore they are much better to consume. The fermentation also provides an easy way to preserve a particular food item. The fermented food also helps to prevent depression. Now, there is a neurotransmitter called serotonin. The serotonin concentration regulates the mood of a human being. The concentration of the serotonin which is present in the brain is 5%, and the rest of the 95% is present in the gut. This 95% concentration of the serotonin is maintained by the microbiota that is present in the gastrointestinal tract. So, if the microbiota could be well maintained with the consumption of the fermented food, then we are happy in our stomach, and if we are happy in our stomach, we always feel good. And last but not the least, the fermented food are very tastier. They are liked by the human, and therefore they do not cause any harm also. Now, coming on to the different category of the bacteria that are being used for the production of different fermented food. The first important category of the bacteria is the acetic acid bacteria, which is sometimes abbreviated as AAB. It comes under the family called Acetobacteriaceae, which is an alpha proteobacteria. There are about 12 important genera of this bacteria, but all the 12 genera are not utilized in the food industry. All the acetic acid bacteria are gram-negative. They are catalase positive. They do not have oxidase enzyme. They are strictly aerobic bacteria. That means they need the help of oxygen to grow, to reproduce, to survive. And they can oxidize many sugar and alcohols to organic acid as their end product. So these bacteria are the one which can thrive in acidic environment. Now out of the 12 important genera that we have seen, only 3 important genera are used by the food industry, and they are Acetobacter, Gluconobacter or Gluconacetobacter. Out of all the 3, Acetobacter is slightly different. How? Because Acetobacter are called over-oxidizers. They can convert ethanol to acetic acid, and this acetic acid can be further oxidized to carbon dioxide and water. This property is not exhibited by Gluconobacter nor by Gluconacetobacter, and therefore Acetobacters are called over-oxidizers. Here you can see the picture of the acetic acid bacteria. The first one is Acetobacter aceti, which are rod-shaped gram-negative bacteria, and Gluconobacter oxidans, which are again rod-shaped bacteria and gram-negative. These two are very important genera which are used in the industry or which is used in the food industry. There are certain metabolic properties which is present or exhibited by these bacteria, and because of the presence of these metabolic activities, they are being utilized by the food industry. For example, all the bacteria are not able to oxidize ethanol to acetic acid. Since these bacteria are able to oxidize ethanol to acetic acid, they are known as the acetic acid bacteria. So the substrate they should have, where they have to thrive or where they have to metabolize, is ethanol. This ethanol, when present in the substrate, is converted to acetaldehyde, and the acetaldehyde is further oxidized to acetic acid. Therefore, these bacteria are tolerant to ethanol because they are thriving in a condition where there is a presence of ethanol. On the other hand, another metabolic activity that is seen in the case of acetic acid bacteria is the acetic acid tolerance. Since they are converting or oxidizing the ethanol to acetic acid, they are always tolerant to the low amount of pH, that is at an acidic pH. Now this tolerance is exhibited because they have presence of high alcohol dehydrogenase activity, and because of high ADH activity, they can thrive in low pH condition. So they not only show the tolerance towards ethanol, but they also show the tolerance towards the acetic acid because they are the producers of acetic acid and they are thriving in an atmosphere where the acetic acid is present. Coming on to the use of these acetic acid bacteria, where they are used and how they are used, let us see. The first important product that is being produced by the food industry for the production is the production of vinegar. This vinegar that we consume in our daily life is nothing but dilute acetic acid, and this is produced with the help of acetic acid bacteria. This production of the vinegar is called incomplete oxidation rather than a true fermentation. Why? Because the reducing power so generated is transferred to oxygen and not to the carbon dioxide. In this production process, the basic metabolic pathway goes like this. The ethanol which is present as the substrate is oxidized to ethanol, and this ethanol is further oxidized to ethanoic acid, which is nothing but the acetic acid. And therefore, this is referred to as the incomplete oxidation step but not a true fermentation. There are different types of vinegar that is being found in the market. The first important type that we normally come across is the wine vinegar. In the case of wine vinegar, the substrate on which the acetic acid bacteria metabolize is a low quality wine. But remember, the aged wine can be of low quality wine, but the spoilt wine should not be used for the production process. So, if the wine is used as a raw material, the vinegar so produced is called the wine vinegar. However, in the case of cedar vinegar, the fermented apple juice is used where they convert the ethanol to acetic acid. The third type of vinegar that we find in the market is malt vinegar, which is somewhat dark in color, and it is produced from the fermented malt mash, and therefore it gives a color to the vinegar. And the fourth important category of the vinegar that is being found in the market is white distilled vinegar or spirit vinegar, where the purified ethanol is used as a substrate, and this ethanol is further oxidized to acetic acid. So these are the different types of vinegar that is being produced by Acetobacter species depending upon the raw material that the industry uses, and therefore we have different types of vinegar. The second important product that is being produced with the help of acetic acid bacteria is the chocolate. The chocolate industry thrives on the cocoa beans. The processing of the cocoa beans is very essential because if the processing does not take place, the aroma, the color or the flavor of the chocolate will not arise. And therefore, these cocoa beans have to be processed thoroughly and very carefully. If we go on to the processing and study the different metabolic pathway of the different types of bacteria that are involved, we will find that there are basically three important categories or the three important types of bacteria that is involved in the processing. The first one here you can see in this graph is the yeast cells. When the processing starts, the number of yeast cell is much in number in comparison to the acetic acid and the lactic acid bacteria. The number of yeast cells which are present in the fermentation of the cocoa beans, they increase in number because they are converting the sugar which is present in the beans to ethanol. So, the number of yeast cells, they again start decreasing after some time. While the blue line, as you can see over here, is the one which is depicting the population of the lactic acid bacteria. The lactic acid bacteria again is much in number, but not so like the yeast cells, but they are much higher than the acetic acid bacteria, which is shown over here with the help of the grey line. So this lactic acid bacterial population again rises, and with the same time when the yeast population is going down, the lactic acid bacterial population also goes down. So in this case you can see that the time when the population of the yeast cells and the population of the lactic acid is going down, at this very moment another graph is rising, and that shows the population of the acetic acid bacteria. I told you they are tolerant to the acidic pH. So when the acidic pH is being created by the lactic acid bacteria, the population of the acetic acid bacteria keeps on rising, and they carry out the rest of the fermentation processing or the fermentation processing of the cocoa beans. As a result of these three important sets of bacteria, we call it a microbial succession. The first fermentation started up by the yeast cells, the second taken up by the lactic acid bacteria, and the third fermentation which is again taken up by the acetic acid bacteria. So because of the presence of these three different types of bacteria, the cocoa beans are fermented. It again develops a taste, aroma and the color. And now after this fermentation, the cocoa beans are roasted at 121 degrees Celsius, and they are now sent to the chocolate industry for the manufacture of different chocolate products. The acetic acid bacteria is also used for the fermentation of another alcoholic product which is called the kombucha beverage. This kombucha beverage is a fermented sugar tea. That means fermentation of the sugar tea takes place with the help of the acetic acid bacteria and yeast cells. Together they work, and therefore they bring about alcoholic beverage which is called the kombucha beverage. This kombucha beverage is one which shows the presence of acetic acid, lactic acid and gluconic acid. And the different type of acetic acid bacteria that are being utilized for the fermentation process is Acetobacter xylenus, Acetobacter xylenoides, Acetobacter aceti, and then we have different species of Gluconobacter also. Though Acetobacter is an over-oxidizer, but it is a very good producer of acetic acid, and therefore Acetobacter is always preferred than Gluconobacter or Gluconacetobacter. After acetic acid bacteria, there is one important genus which is used for the fermentation of another alcoholic product, and that is Zymomonas mobilis. Zymomonas mobilis is a rod-shaped gram-negative bacteria, and it is used in many tropical areas of America, Africa and Asia for the formation of an alcoholic beverage. Now this particular genus, that is Zymomonas mobilis, they degrade the sugar to pyruvic acid, and this pyruvic acid, after being converted to acetaldehyde, is further converted to ethanol and carbon dioxide with the help of the Entner-Dudroff pathway. So the end product so produced by this bacterium is ethanol and carbon dioxide, and therefore because of this metabolic pathway, they are being used for the production of the alcoholic beverage. Coming on to two other genera which are used by the food industry is Bacillus and Micrococcus. Bacillus lynchiniformis and Micrococcus christi are very important for the production of a material which is called the fish sauce. Now, Micrococcus christi are the coccus-shaped gram-positive bacteria, while the Bacillus lynchiniformis are rod-shaped gram-positive bacteria. So, they have difference in their morphology. The Micrococcus christi is now known as Coccuria christi, and they always occur in a cluster, or they are arranged in a unique pattern where we find either 2 cells, 4 cells or 6 cells. So sometimes they are referred to as the tetrad. And these two are used in the production of the fish sauce, where the fish is inoculated with these two bacteria, that is Bacillus lynchiniformis and Coccuria christi, in a brine solution. The different species of Bacillus is also being utilized for the formation of the oil bean seeds, or we call it a fermented oil bean seeds, which is done in the countries of Africa, where the protein is being degraded and formed into much usable or such proteins which can be easily consumed and digested by the human population. The different species of Bacillus that are being used is Bacillus lynchiniformis, Bacillus megaterium, Bacillus macerensis, and then Bacillus circulans. So different species of Bacillus are used for the fermentation process. Going on to another genus which is used in the cheese industry is Propionobacterium fruthenrichi subspecies Shermani. Now this subspecies of Propionobacterium is very important for the production of Emmental cheese. This Emmental cheese has got a very good sweet taste as well as the eyes which are present in the cheese. This bacteria is gram-positive, non-motile, non-spore forming, anaerobic, and it can be aerotolerant only. The sweet taste that we find because of the presence of the lactic acid and propionic acid, because this bacteria has got a special metabolic pathway by which the production of lactic acid as well as the propionic acid takes place, and both these organic acids together give the sweet taste, whereas the carbon dioxide which is also produced during the metabolism gives you the eyes or the holes in the cheese, and therefore the preparation of the Emmental cheese with the Shermani species of Propionibacterium takes place. Therefore, we can summarize that there are different types of bacteria which are utilized in the food industry. Rather, we humans are exploiting the bacteria for our own purpose, and we are producing different fermented products which are also known as the products of microbial origin. So, the bacteria are not harmful to us, rather they are friend to the food industry, and because of the presence of the bacteria, we have production of so many food items which can be a drink, which can be an alcoholic beverage, or which can be a dairy product or a protein product. So, bacteria are not our enemies, but they are our friends. Thank you.